Hey, it's Tandy with Common Ground Alaska. I wanted to pop in here real quick and talk with you about what to bring to the Alaska Homestead Expo. But before I do that, I just want to say thank you so much for getting tickets and for agreeing to spend a weekend with us. This is a really big deal. I hope that the expo lives up to your expectations. I hope it exceeds your expectations. We're putting a lot into it to try and make sure that it is everything that you hope it will be. But something that I thought might be helpful is to talk about what you should bring to the expo. So let's get started. The first thing I wanted to show you is you should have an email in your inbox. We have actually a whole series of emails coming out that is talking about what the experience at the expo is going to be like. I'm going to give you a spoiler alert. There's actually a coupon code that you can share with your friends that gives them a little bit of money off. Now that you've bought your tickets, you can get that coupon code and maybe bring friends. That would be fun. There's plenty of room for everybody. So what you need to do as far as ticketing goes, this is in one of the emails that was sent out. First, I'm going to back up just a little bit and I want to tell you the emails always come from Tandy@commongroundalaska.com. So what I want you to do is if you're not receiving our emails, first of all, add us as a contact, but check your spam, but you can just even do a search in your search bar for that. Now, some people, if your receipt went to spam, and it's been more than 30 days, some people might not still have their receipt, and that's okay because we also have a list at the door. So here's what I want you to do. If you still have your receipt, it should be on your phone, then the easiest thing to do actually is to grab it with your name. I'm going to cover up this name because this is an actual customer receipt, but at the bottom is the name of the customer, and that would have your name on it. So I just want you to screenshot this whole page, and then it's in your photos. Then it's easy. When you get there to register to check in, you'll just have this nice little screenshot and it'll have your name on it, and it's easy to get you checked in. But again, if you've lost your receipt, if you can't find it, we'll have a spreadsheet with your name on it. If you can't find your receipt, just let us know your name. So that's the first thing I want you to bring. The next thing is, this is entirely optional, but I want you to know it's coming. We're sending out a series of emails that has all to do with the expo. In one of those emails, I don't think you've probably gotten it yet, but in one of those emails will be the schedule and it'll be the pamphlet that will be printed so that you can take around with you all day. It's going to have all the times for everything. It's going to have all of the pertinent information that you need to be successful at the expo. We will have them there printed for you, but I know that some people like to be able to print out that schedule and mark up what they're going to do, figure out where everyone's going to be, because there's a lot of stuff going on all at the same time. And to have people taking different workshops in different places and deciding which workshops you want to take, because some of these times, how are you even going to choose? I can't attend any of them, but if I was going to be able to, some of them would be really hard to choose which ones to go to. You are welcome to print that if you want and bring it. That's an easy thing. Another thing to bring is a pen and a notebook. And I would recommend a smaller notebook, ladies, to put in your purse, or men, if you want to bring a notebook and take notes, just a little pocket notebook would probably be sufficient. None of these classes are being recorded, cost effective, and it would have had to push the tickets to a higher price point than I cared to charge. So we're working on getting video for the next one, but for this one, there's no recordings. So that being said, since you're bringing your phone, because your tickets are on there anyway, you also are going to want to bring your phone because you are welcome to record any classes you want to record. You're welcome to take as many pictures as you want. Okay, the next thing, let me pull up my list again. The next thing to bring would be, here's what we're going to do. We're all going to bring a warm jacket. We're all going to do this. We're going to do this collectively. I'm not really superstitious, but I think it's funny. We're all going to bring a warm jacket. We're all going to bring rain boots in hopes that we're not going to need them, because heaven knows if nobody brings them, then we'll definitely need them. So bring a warm jacket, bring mud boots. There is still snow at the Lions Club. It's warming up during the day, but we just had so much snow this year. It's hard to get it all to melt. So the piles, there's still piles of where it was mounded. There's definitely still some snow. I promise your kids, if they're outside, which of course they will be because the kids' learning tent is outside, they're going to find a mud puddle. So you might want to bring a spare change of clothes for the kiddos just to make sure that they aren't miserable by the end of the day. So definitely layers, as most of layers are best at this time of year in Alaska anyway. Another thing to bring would be some cash. So the reason, there's a couple things going on. Of course, all of the classes, everything are covered at the expo, but our vendors have some really cool stuff for sale. And it's so fun. I know for most of us, we have that same, we want to support our local people. And it's fun learning what's out there and what you can get. And definitely, we've got a list of vendors on the website if you're curious who all's going to be there. I think it needs updated. I think there's a few I need to add, but definitely bring money for that. Also, another thing to bring money for would be the food trucks. We have Barbecue Babes who have the most amazing barbecue and macaroni and cheese. They just do all the things. Their food is incredible. They also who will be there if you're not into barbecue. We also have a Mexican food truck. He's called Big Papa's, and he does they're called tachos. These things, if you've never had these before, you put this on your list. Write this down because you don't want to forget. It's tater tot nachos. So instead of cheese, it's tater tots. So they don't like sometimes instead of chips. So sometimes chips get soggy. Tater tots on nachos are so good, and you can eat them with a fork. Nachos are messy, so you can eat them with a fork. Oh my goodness, they're good. So if you like that kind of thing, put that on your list. Big Papa's will be there. Barbecue Babes will be there. Also, Bear Booch will be there, which is super fun because they will have tons of kombucha. You can get it by the cup, you can get it by the growler. And I'll tell you ahead of time, Bear Booch is actually going to be set up inside, and we have some eating tables that will be set up inside as well. So if the weather's schmutzy, which it's not going to be, but just in case, you can definitely eat inside and you can get your food and then come inside and get in near where the vendors are in the ice rink. Bear Booch will be set up in there, and you can get yourself some kombucha to eat with your lunch and your dinner. Another thing to bring money for is we were unable to get a coffee stand to come be there, which I really did try, but I didn't try in time. This is the first time we've done this. I don't want to say I made mistakes. I'm going to say that I'm learning for next year. The learning curve for this thing is massive. So we weren't able to get a coffee truck, but I will tell you, less than a minute away from the Lions Club is a little coffee stand called Brewed Oasis. They don't know that we're promoting them. I'm just trying to make it easy for you. If you're going to be at an event from 8:30 in the morning until 8 o'clock at night, coffee drinkers are going to need their coffee. So Brewed Oasis is right across the street. They've got coffee. They've got smoothies for the kiddos. I will tell you, this is a mango smoothie, and this is Abby's favorite thing. Abby's other favorite thing there is their pretzels and cheese. So they have cinnamon rolls. They have all that kind of thing. So if you're looking for something kind of snacky or something sweet, you could either drive there because it's right across the road almost, or if you have a break, the classes are so good, I don't know, it would be hard to have a break time. But if you happen to have a time when you're not attending a class, you could even walk down there and be back well within your hour. So those are some other things to consider bringing and things to know about the expo. Let's see what else is there. Okay. The last thing I wanted to talk about with this, I think this is the last thing, is if your kids are taking the orienteering class. And if you're not sure what the orienteering class is, I get it. It's basically a class where this is a class that's going to help your kids get out of, say, the backwoods. It's going to give them the skills that they can hopefully figure out how to get out of an area where maybe they're lost, maybe they're hunting, or they're, I don't know, getting chaga, whatever your kids are out in the woods doing. But they don't have cell service. And especially in Alaska, we don't always have cell service. This orienteering class is 6 hours long, so they're going to want to be dressed for whatever weather because they are not under a tent. They are in a nice wide open area so you can see them the whole time, and you can go check it out. You can listen in if you want to. You can be part of the class if you'd like, but it is 6 hours and it's Saturday only, and it starts at 10. So it's 10 to 4. And your kids just show up, but they're going to need some supplies. And so I wanted to make sure that that it's very clear what those supplies are. So the first thing that they're going to need is a compass, a directional compass. These are so easy to find, and they're super cheap. So if you're going to have to purchase one, I would say to get one because it would be a good thing for your kids to have in a backpack that they take if they go out in the woods anyway. The other thing that they need is a pencil. That's easy. Another thing that they need is a ruler. It doesn't have to be a fancy ruler like this. It can just be a plain flat ruler, just a cheap ruler. And then the final thing that they need is a protractor. Now, a circle protractor is preferred. It makes things a lot easier, but I tried to find some and I couldn't find any. I couldn't find any in the valley. A regular protractor like this is totally going to work. They'll need to bring this along. I found this one at Three Bears on Pittman. I will tell you that Three Bears in Big Lake does not have them, so don't come all the way into Big Lake expecting to get this at the last minute. You'll have to drive out a little ways. I'm guessing if Pittman has it, probably KGB has it and Four Corners has it. And I'm sure you can get them at at Walmart and Fred Meyer. I just don't go to Wasilla very often. So there's that. Now this class is I just can't stress enough what an opportunity for this to offer be able to take this class totally free. It's not free, it's included in the cost of admission, but kids are free. So it's technically that the class isn't going to cost you anything. And what a skill for them to have to figure out if they're out without cell service to get some directional ideas and be able to at least figure out some landmarks or something to head towards so they can be safe. So that's why we wanted to offer this class because I think it's just an incredible one. I think that's all. Just come, bring yourselves. It's going to be a blast. And we are just really excited that you're coming. If for some reason you haven't gotten your tickets yet and you're watching this video, it's not too late. commongroundalaska.com. There's a little green bar across the top for the expo. You just click that bar. It's going to take you right to the information that's where you can see the schedule. You can see who our speakers are. You can see who the workshop leaders are, who the vendors are. It's got all that information. And then any of those buttons you would just click and it'll take you over to the store to actually purchase your tickets. So just remember that kids are free. So if you're purchasing tickets, if you're bringing 25 kids, that would be a lot. But however many kids you have, however many you're bringing, they're all free. So just pay for the adults. Thank you. I cannot wait to see you next weekend.